Captain James Rourke stood in the crystalline chamber of the Valyrian Marriage Council, wondering how a simple diplomatic mission had spiraled into the most complicated situation of his career. The alien woman before him, Lysa of House Morith, regarded him with 4 luminous silver eyes that held equal parts amusement and exasperation. Her skin shimmered with bioluminescent patterns that rippled across her shoulders like living tattoos, and her elegant frame suggested both strength and grace. She was beautiful by any standard, human or otherwise, but that was far from the current problem. "You do not understand our ways," Lysa said, her voice carrying the melodic quality common to her species. "When you saved my life in the asteroid field, you invoked the debt of hearts. This is sacred among my people." James rubbed his temples. "I was just doing my job. Your ship was damaged. Mine had working engines. Basic rescue protocol. Basic or not, you risked your vessel and your life for mine." Lysa's patterns flared brighter, indicating emphasis. "By our oldest laws, I am bound to you. My honor demands I become your mate." The translation device at his collar had initially rendered that word as wife, then spouse, then partner, before settling on mate. James had spent 3 days trying to politely decline, explaining Earth customs, the complications of interspecies relationships, and his complete lack of preparedness for marriage to anyone, let alone an alien princess. That was when Lysa's sisters had arrived. They entered now. A procession of 5 Valyrian women, each as striking as Lysa, but with subtle variations. Kira was taller, her patterns tending toward deep blues. Nessa had golden undertones in her pale skin. Reyna moved with a warrior's precision, scars visible along her arms. Tess seemed younger, her eyes bright with curiosity. And Maya, the eldest, carried herself with quiet authority. "Captain Rourke," Maya said, inclining her head in the formal Valyrian greeting. "We have consulted the archives and the Council of Matriarchs. The matter is settled." "What matter?" James asked, though dread was already pooling in his stomach. "If you take Lysa as your mate, you must also accept us." Maya gestured to her sisters. "It is tradition. When one sister of a noble house is bound by the debt of hearts, all sisters share the bond. To separate us would be to dishonor our entire bloodline." James blinked. "All of you, all of us," Kira confirmed with a sharp smile. "Unless you wish to refuse Lysa entirely, which would mark her as one deemed unworthy. She would be cast from our house, stripped of rank and property." Lysa's patterns dimmed at this, her shoulders drooping slightly. "I have explained that the captain's people do not practice our customs. My sisters will not listen." "Because it is irrelevant," Reyna interjected, her voice firm. "You invoked our ways when you chose to die rather than abandon your vessel to the raiders. Honor recognized honor. The debt was sealed the moment the captain brought you aboard his ship." James had been in firefights, had negotiated with hostile species, had even survived a brief stint as a prisoner of war on a methane world. None of those experiences had prepared him for this. He was a scout captain, not a diplomat, and certainly not someone equipped to navigate the labyrinthine marriage customs of an alien nobility. "Look," he said, trying to keep his voice level, "I respect your traditions. I do. But where I come from, marriage is between 2 people who actually know each other, who've spent time together, who actually want to be married. Want is secondary to honor," Maya replied coolly. "Though I suspect you will find our company agreeable enough, given time." Tess stepped forward, her youthful enthusiasm cutting through the tension. "Our research indicates that human males often form attachments to multiple partners throughout their lives, simply not simultaneously. Is this not correct?" "That's not exactly how it works," James began, but Tess was already continuing. "Then why would you object to efficiency? We are all compatible with your biology, according to the medical scans. We are educated, trained in various useful disciplines, and our genetic material could produce viable offspring should you desire them. I'm 28, James said weakly. I'm not thinking about offspring. An infant by Valyrian standards, Nessa said with amusement. I am 93, still considered quite young. You need not worry that we will rush you. The entire conversation had taken on a surreal quality. James found himself arguing against marrying 6 beautiful, intelligent, accomplished women who were genuinely offering themselves because their culture demanded it. From a certain perspective, it was absurd. From another, it was terrifying. What if I just refuse everything? He asked. Accept the dishonor or whatever consequences come with it. The sisters exchanged glances. Lysa spoke quietly. Then I am exiled, and you will have made an enemy of House Morth and its considerable influence in this sector. Trade agreements between your Earth and our worlds would suffer. The alliance being built between our species would fracture. You're saying I'd start a diplomatic incident. A small war, more accurately, Maya corrected. Our father is not a forgiving man, and House Morth controls significant military resources. James laughed, but there was no humor in it. So my choices are marry all of you, or potentially trigger an armed conflict. Or you could view this as an opportunity, Kira suggested. You would gain considerable status, access to Valyrian technology, and a family bound by honor to support you in all endeavors. Many would consider this fortune, not burden. I didn't ask for fortune. I asked for a simple rescue mission. Rhaena's expression softened slightly. Neither did Lysa ask to be ambushed by raiders. Neither did we ask for our sister to invoke an ancient law. Yet here we are, all bound by choices already made. The chamber fell silent. James looked at each of the sisters in turn, seeing not just their alien beauty, but their genuine conviction. This was not a trap or manipulation. They truly believed in what they were saying, in the honor that demanded this union. How would this even work? He asked finally. Practically speaking, we would reside primarily on our family estate on Valor Prime, Maya explained. You would maintain your position as captain, though we would provide a larger vessel befitting your new station. Each sister would accompany you on missions in rotation, serving as advisors and liaisons. We would not demand affection you do not feel, Lysa added gently. The bond is one of honor and duty first. What grows beyond that is for time to determine. And if nothing grows beyond that, then you will have companions who respect you, support you, and stand with you against any threat. Nessa smiled. There are worse fates, Captain. James considered his options, which seemed to be narrowing with every passing moment. He thought of his ship, currently in orbit with a skeleton crew. He thought of Earth, so far away, still finding its footing among the elder races of the galaxy. He thought of the fragile peace being built, one awkward first contact at a time, and he thought of Lysa, who had fought beside him against the raiders even as her ship was dying, who had trusted him enough to board a strange vessel with a strange pilot, who now faced exile because he had done the right thing. One condition, he said at last. The sisters leaned forward as one, their patterns brightening with interest. You teach me everything about Valyrian culture, customs, and expectations. I'm not going into this blind. If I'm going to be part of your house, I need to understand what that actually means. Maya's severe expression cracked into a smile. Acceptable. And, James continued, you accept that I'm going to make mistakes. I'll try to honor your ways, but I'm still human. I'm still learning. Also acceptable, Lysa said, her patterns now glowing with what he was learning to recognize as joy. You will find us patient teachers, James Rourke. The formalization ceremony was brief by Valyrian standards, merely 6 hours of ritual and song. James stood at the center, as each sister spoke ancient vows in their musical language, binding themselves and their house to him. He repeated the words the translator provided, feeling the weight of each syllable. When it was done, he was married to 6 alien women, had gained a noble title in a house he barely understood, and had secured peace in a sector that desperately needed it. As they left the chamber, Tess fell into step beside him. "You look overwhelmed." "That's an understatement." "It will become easier. We are strange to you now, but you will learn. We will all learn together." James looked at his new family, at these 6 women who had bound themselves to him through law and honor. It was insane. It was impossible. It was already done. "Welcome to the family, Captain," Maya said with dry amusement. "May you never know a dull moment again." As prophecies went, James suspected that one would prove entirely accurate.